Good morning, my students at home. My name is Abu Mohammed Bashir. I'm your business studies teacher. Uh, I will be teaching you business studies. Uh, how are you this morning? And I hope you are taking all the necessary measures in order to stay safe. The school, in its wisdom, has made it possible for you to learn even as you are at home. Today's topic is importance of consumer education. I repeat, importance of consumer education. It is very important consumers to have education on product or services they buy in the market. It is very, very important. The following are some of the importance of consumer educations we are going to look at today. And they are 4 in numbers. And inshallah, we are going to do justice to them. The first here is right to choice of goods and services. Provision of adequate information to consumers about goods and services available in the market enables consumer make right selection. When it is important or worthy of note that if you when you have consumer education, it will give you the purview to have what to make choice of the right product that you will derive value from at the end of the day. Secondly, awareness of problems associated with purchase of goods and services. It is important that second important is that when you have the awareness of the problem associated with purchase of goods and services, you will know how to maneuver it whenever it arises. But in a short note, consumer education also enables consumers to be aware of the problems they might face while buying goods and services, especially when they are competitive goods. Competitive goods here simply means goods that have the same use but are produced from different producers. When you have the knowledge of consumer education, you will be able to ascertain among the products, the competitive products, which one is more quality than the other. So it's very important we have knowledge of consumer education. Number 3, provision of information about market conditions. Consumer education provides consumers with full information about market conditions, such as various sources of buying a particular product or services, where to get it cheap and quality goods. One of the importance here is the provision of information. When you have information about a product, it will enable you to ascertain the quality of that product. It will also enable you to know whether it's cheaper or not. If it's of quality, it's your choice to take the one that will last you for a certain period, for a long period of time. And again, if it's cheaper, you will now be able to find out why the product is cheap. You will ask selling questions as regards to the cheapness of that product. Why is it cheap? Is it the kind of one you can afford? If it's the kind of one you can afford, and even as it's cheap, will it last? It's not just being cheap for cheapness sake, but if it's not the one that will last you or will serve you, definitely, even if it's cheap, you will have to back out. So it's very, very important you have information about market condition, as well as where to get the product and buy. There are a lot of products in the market today, but in fact, some will even go to the market. At the end of the day, they will not be able to locate where a certain product is in the market. So definitely, the location is also important. The number 4 is maximum satisfaction. When adequate information about goods and services is provided to the consumers, it enables them to make a right choice, which in turn gives opportunity to get maximum satisfaction from money spent. Um, as a consumer, you cannot buy a product that you will not derive satisfaction at the end of the day. So it is important that as you are going to the market, you look for a product or a service that at the end of the day you will be able to maximize the value. You will be able to maximize or derive satisfaction. So, and it will also give you what? The opportunity to maximize satisfaction from the money spent. Nobody will want to use his money or her money and buy a product that at the end of the day, he or she will not be satisfied. A product, no matter how costly it may be, if at the end of the day you enjoy or you satisfy that product, I mean, the product satisfies you, or the product is a kind of product that you derive maximum satisfaction, you will not bother, it will not pay you. But if it's a kind of product that you just spend money and you did not enjoy the value, you did not maximize the satisfaction of that product. In fact, it will pay you. It will be as if you end up losing your money. So it's very important that at the end of the day, you have what? Maximization of satisfaction. You derive what? Maximum satisfaction at the end of the day. So next we are going to look at now is consequences of lack of consumer education. Consequences of lack of consumer education simply means what you are going to face at the end of the day when you don't have proper consumer education. What you are going to face, or the difficulties, or the reaction you will get at the end of the day when this education is lacking. Some of the consequences of lack of consumer education are as follows. Number 1, improper product identification. In a marketplace where different brands of products are sold by different sellers, obtained from both registered and unregistered sources, the consumers might find it difficult to identify the right brand or the product. Improper product identification. If you don't have this education, if you as a consumer, you don't have the proper consumer education, at the end of the day, you end up buying a product from an unregistered or unlicensed organization, and which definitely there must be adverse reaction. Most especially products that has to do with, for instance, the cream we rub on our skin. If it's not coming from a registered organization, in fact, you should not start thinking of they might get NAFDAC registration at the end of the day, and definitely it will affect your skin. And secondly, the food we consume. If the food you consume or the food you buy from the market is coming from a source that is not registered, definitely there won't be NAFDAC number on that product, and at the end of the day, it has implication. Uh, the second is ignorance of laws enacted by governments. Ignorance of law enacted by governments. There is an adage that says, ignorance is a disease. Ignorance is a disease. If a consumer are not informed about laws enacted by government to protect their rights as a consumers, they will be cheated. Also, will not be able to claim their rights. In some countries where they have price control, this price control is enacted by the government. Peradventure, you buy a product above government regulated price, and at the end of the day, you bought it out of ignorance, and at the end of the day, you've been able to call upon that the product you buy, you are being cheated. If you go back, you must, in fact, if you go back to fight for your right, definitely the price must be reduced for you as at the government enacted price. So therefore, government play a very important role when it comes to price regulation, but in some countries. Even in Nigeria, there are other products that government regulate, such as the petrol, the diesel, the kerosene, and what have you. So if you are buying those products above pump price, you can stay back and fight for it. Right? Definitely, your balance will be given back to you. And the third consequence of lack of consumer education is lack of information on product safety. When consumers do not have access to necessary information about the usage of goods such as drugs, machines, and chemicals, they may misuse goods, and this can be detrimental to human health. Lack of consumer education, this is what it causes. When a consumer is not having proper information about a product safety, there will be a very, very adverse reaction. One, when it has to do with drugs. If you're buying a product like drugs and the proper information is not streamlined there for you to know how to use it, definitely you might end up taking overdose, and in fact it will be very, very bad. It will react badly on your system. And also, lack of or the consequences of lack of consumer education might also lead a consumer to buy a machine that is not having information, and at the end of the day will not know how to operate the machine, and therefore it will be very, very bad. Also, chemicals. In fact, if you go to the market is saturated with a lot of chemicals today that some of them do not even have necessary information on the safety on those chemicals. And as such, if a consumer happen to buy that product and is using it without information, the consumer will end up hurting himself or herself, or end up being affected by that chemical. So it is very, very important. We try as much as possible to get aware of what we are buying as consumers. Last but not the least, inability to compare products and services. Inability to compare products and services. Once a consumer lacks information about the goods and services they will be unable to compare products and services. So what this article is saying impliedly is that when consumers do not have adequate information or knowledge about a product, they will not be able to, as a matter of fact, compare product and services. At the end of the day, they will be mistaking product for service as well as service for a product. And if it's a kind of a strict organization, whatever you are obtaining from that organization is non-refundable, and at the end of the day it will result to issues. So it's very, very important we always have information on products and services before we venture into buying it. This is where we are going to stop for today, but before I draw the curtain, I have some homework for you to keep you busy at home. Number one here is state the importance of consumer education. State the importance of consumer education. Number two, explain at least 3 consequences of lack of consumer education. I repeat, number 2 is explain at least 3 consequences of lack of consumer education. And last but not the least is explain the relationship between the market and the society. Bye. See you in my next class.